Welcome back, Reef Builders, to day 2 of the Global Pet Expo here in Orlando, Florida. I was really pleasantly surprised to see some great new aquarium products, some new devices, lots of exciting gear for both freshwater and saltwater aquariums yesterday. And man, there was a lot of new gear that I saw from the corner of my eye that I'm going to go back and take a closer look at because, man, there's a lot of really cool stuff on the horizon. I'm really glad I came to Orlando for the Global Pet Expo again, because 2017 is definitely a very bountiful year for new aquarium products. So let's go check out some more booths and see what we can find here on day 2 of the Global Pet Expo. So here's something really special that I want to show you guys. It's a beautiful drop-off aquarium by Skriffos. And even if you're not in the market for a drop-off aquarium, this is just such a wild design for an aquarium, and it really opens up some completely new dimensions, literally, for aquascaping. Not only having your tank built from side to side, but having this really cool, dramatic drop off right here down one side. It's just such a striking appearance to this tank. And man, this kind of tank takes a lot of skill and a lot of experience as a craftsman, probably outside of my budget, but I would definitely love a tank like this one day, just because of all the different things you should be able to do with such a wild aquascape. It's like having several different tanks. There's a tank over here, and then there's like a whole different box over here, and then a little bit more of a typical corner here. And man, it would just be so wild to see a tank like this totally fitted out with reef fish and corals. Very cool. So this is a Skriffos drop-off aquarium. Suggested retail price on this aquarium is a tad over $3,000. Hopefully that includes the stand. Okay, so I've made it back to the Deepwater Aquatics distribution booth, and I am reunited with a company that I have a very soft spot for, this Pacific Sun. And recently Pacific Sun has been making some really unique products. They first busted out into the scene with some LED lighting, but lately they've been making a name for themselves for some really well-built dosers. This is a Core 5th Ultimate with some wireless features. We've got the Core 5th Advanced. Very recently we saw a prototype of a KH Lab, which is basically an automatic alkalinity measurement box, electronics, that ties in with the Core 5th to basically turn into an automatic alkalinity controller. And also, if you're looking for something a little bit more classic but still cutting edge, this is the Calc Feeder Pro. This is an automatic calcium reactor which basically builds upon devices like the Destaco, but instead of using a mechanical float switch, it has an optical sensor that feeds right into the control box and an included feed pump. So it can make sure to keep the CO2 level always as good as possible for optimal calcium and alkalinity production. And should be one of the most plug-and-play calcium reactors on the market. So looking forward to seeing this in the future. Like I said, Pacific Sun is really in a league of their own as far as some of the products that they make. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing that KH Lab come to market and working in concert with some of these very fantastic devices. So Pacific Sun had one more thing to show me among many of their various aquarium devices. This is the Pacific Sun Simply Sump, and it looks like it has all the compartments you'd expect out of basically a modern reef aquarium sump. You've got your pre-filter section here, protein skimmer area, a small dosing box, and even room for a built-in media reactor. And every one of these compartments has a thoughtful lid, and that's not a gasket, it's black acrylic just to catch the lid, and some really cool wire routers here, and some dosing holes over here. So just a real polished affair. And I really like those tight fitting lids to keep everything quiet, keep that salt spray down. Should be a really cool little device. Do you know how much this will cost?
About $450.
So this whole sump will be $450 minus the skimmer.
Minus the skimmer. Comes with the media reactor.
But with the media reactor. Very cool. And this is the smallest size in the line?
Correct.
Smallest. And you have how many other sizes?
80 centimeters and 100.
Okay, so there's an 80 centimeter and 100 centimeter size of the Simply Sump from Pacific Sun.
It's
All right, so I've made it over to the Current USA booth, and Current has been killing it with their new loop system that I've seen at a ton of different fish stores. This is basically an ecosystem that includes the lights, the pumps, and a return pump, and a basic controller to give you access to some of the features that people really want to use. Very cool, and their LED lights have been around. Everybody loves them. Here they are on display on a larger aquarium, and we've seen these actually for a little while. So what I really wanted to show you was this new APS stand from Innovative Marine. And man, this thing is really, really good looking. You know, it looks like wood, but it's all aluminum. That is so freaking cool. So these doors open up, and these doors are optional, which I really, really love. They are completely removable. There you go. You can see the brackets right there. And I don't know how many colors they come in, but I'm sure this won't be the only color. It'll probably be a black. And over here, you can see an example of the APS stand without the doors. So you get like this beautiful skeleton stand. And again, that looks like wood, but it's all this modular form of aluminum that is going to be really strong and hold up to water. And yeah, really cool. I actually have a black stand for my 2-foot cube, and when these are widely available, I'm definitely going to look at switching that out. So this is an APS stand, the new modular aluminum framed supports from Innovative Marine, looking really, really good at the Current USA booth, where they're displaying the new loop system of lights, pumps, and return pumps. So I just stumbled upon this tank that's filled with some artificial aquatic creatures. It's completely fluorescent. It is kind of fun in some ways because there's several different colors of coralomorphs. We've got some fake corals, imaginary corals, some toadstool leathers, and of course the obligatory floating fishes. Global Pet Expo is fun because you never know what you're gonna find. So I've made it over to Two Little Fishies, and their product catalog is rapidly growing with a variety of additives, medias, and reactors that you could want to use on your home aquarium. But as usual, Julian Sprung has had the creative juices flowing lately with a few new products. Something unconventional here is the Remag. This is a calcium reactor additive. So when this dissolves, it's actually going to add magnesium to your aquarium water. Very cool addition to be used with Reborn, the one and only calcium reactor media, in my book anyway. This is a new product called Stacks, and they're thinly cut pieces of dry rock. This looks like mined rock from Marco's Rock, and they're made in layers so you can easily stack them up or make caves, shelters, overhangs, what have you. So it's an interesting way to basically turn dry rock into Legos, and it'd be interesting to see how people react to this. But it's also, I think this is a really great idea for nano tanks. Keep your reefscape stable, and once corals grow on that, you won't even be able to see the cuts in the rock. So finally, this is a really interesting thing, and it's kind of really had to read the label real closely, and Dorothy helped me. And this is the Accuracy Liquid Seawater Concentrate. So basically, this is concentrated seawater. I think that's how he did it. And this is basically 5 gallons of salt mix. So you add fresh water to this to basically turn it into a 5-gallon jug of Accuracy natural seawater. So really interesting take on how to make seawater for the home aquarium. And man, it's just always a pleasure to stop by Two Little Fishies and see what Julian's been cooking up. So I've made it over to the JBJ USA booth, and this company has a lot of brands in its stables, but today we're looking at the new flat panel aquariums, which basically the name just harkens back to this company using a lot of rounded edges, rounded corners. But this is an all-in-one aquarium. It's going to feature high clarity glass. It's got a fully built-in filter system over here in the back with baskets, and it pairs very well with their new LED, the Orion LED. It has a couple different clusters spread out to get even light distribution throughout the entire aquarium. So the JBJ flat panel aquarium will be available in a few different sizes. It's compatible with a wide range of JBJ aquarium product accessories, as you can see, like the SK45 skimmer, the Ocean Stream water pumps, and their auto top-offs. So look out for those at your local fish store. And I had to stop by the Sicce booth to find out about their Syncra pumps. Now these pumps have been around for quite a long time. They're some of my favorite return pumps by far. So they've done a couple things. One, they've made the regular Syncra advanced. They've basically made their AC pump work even better, and they've used essentially a very similar housing for their new pumps, the Syncra SDC. These are the controllable versions of the Syncra pumps. There's going to be 3 sizes. 2 sizes of the Syncra SDC. Okay, there's going to be 2 sizes of the Syncra SDC, and these will be fully controllable with wireless programs, and as well as a controllable version of the Syncra, the PSK pump. This is one of the workhorses for protein skimmers that use needle wheels in the aquarium hobby. And I got my buddy Ralph here, who is going to bring us up to date on the Syncra pumps.
So, if everyone remembers, we used to stop at the Syncra 5, 105 watts, 1,321 gallons per hour. We've gone to all electronic pumps now. So in a 5.5, which is a 3.0 size motor block, smaller pump, 50 watts, 1,500 gallons per hour.
Wow.
What that allows us to do is do 15, 19, and 2,500 GPH. They'll all come with all the fittings. These are prototypes. And they're all electronically controlled.
These are the AC pumps, right?
These are AC, but they have
an ADV.
Correct. They have an electronic motor block so that we can use some different souped up motors, if you will, on the inside of them with different rotors and impellers.
Very cool. And after the ADV, you have the SDCs.
That's correct. So because those are electronic, we then can release 2 versions, a 1900 and down unit and up to a 2,500 gallon unit, both 5-year warranties. Built-in Wi-Fi, completely compatible with app, Android and iOS, fully controllable, and you can customize all the different features of it. And again, like I said, 5-year warranty on the pump.
So when are these pumps going to be available?
We'll be shipping next month. The price points is $330 on the larger of the SDC and $279 on the small.
Very cool. Yeah, I've been looking at these since Interzoo of last year, and man, I'm really excited to see these finally come to market. Like I said,
people screaming at us for
it. Those things kind of come out soon enough. Thanks for your time, Ralph.
Well, thank you.
So it's late in the afternoon of the day 2 of Global Pet Expo, and I am taking a minute to visit one of my favorite domestic acrylic aquarium product manufacturers. This is a grab-and-go retail display, and one of my favorite things that I wish that I had when I worked retail shops, and looks like they've added a few more rows on the sides, which is really, really great to maximize the space that this takes up. And you've got this really no-nonsense aquarium filtration system with individualized water flow being fed to all of the different containers. But man, one of the things that I just saw that really blew my mind, something that you really can't appreciate on paper, is this wild, wild little all-in-one aquarium. They call it the Fish-tastic. It's a 5-gallon nano reef tank. And instead of having a built-in filter, there's a built-in overflow. I know this looks like a jellyfish tank at first glance, but that bottom section is actually a miniature wet-dry filter that's packed into a drawer. Can you believe that? A drawer. So there's a 5-gallon tank inside. It includes a basic LED light that's completely isolated from the moisture. And right down below there's a 1.5-gallon, basically a wet-dry system for this nano aquarium. This is totally crazy. And it's just made out of molded plastic. It's visible on both sides. And what's crazy about this, it's gonna be a $50 aquarium. And I'm telling you, if I had to pick an all-in-one nano reef tank or nano aquarium of any kind to set up at my house right now, this would be the first consideration. So this is the new Fish-tastic nano aquarium from ProClear Aquatic Systems. And man, just a delightful little aquarium. I'm sure they'll be able to make it in various sizes. I've already told them to invert the ratio of LEDs inside this housing, if I can get it out. Oh, there we go. So yeah, we got mostly white with a little bit of blue. If we get that mostly blue with a little bit of white, it'd be a perfect little reef tank. So there we go. So we're getting towards the end of day 2 here at Global Pet Expo in Orlando, Florida. And I'm at the Inledco booth checking out a light that I have been keeping an eye on for quite a long time. The first version of this light that I saw was made completely out of glass, but here at the booth we basically have a stand-in version which is really meant to show off the final PCB, basically the array of LEDs and electronics that's going to be in this fixture. I know it looks like a really nondescript rectangular shape, but there's a whole lot of really cool stuff going on the hood of this light. So like any modern LED light, it has fully built-in wireless controls and electronics. Here you can see the app, and it's really smooth. Oh, let me grab that. There we go. Grab that slider, change the colors. So there's 4 channels of LEDs in a multitude of colors. There's 864 total LEDs. So these are the micro wattage LEDs, but having so many of these LEDs under one light should really create like a blanket of light, really uniform distribution of the light field, and you can see it has really soft shadows. So right now we're looking at all the channels fired up, and man, this is a really cool light. Like I said, this fixture basically just has a heat sink, a random metal heat sink, but the fixture itself is made out of glass. So it's a really different kind of aquarium light fixture. It should be coming sooner than ever, sooner than when it was first announced back at MACNA. But you know what? All these cool and interesting aquarium products, any products really, take a lot of development to get just right. So the Mako 1 from Inledco will be available in a handful of weeks for around $350, and it will have a power output of between 150 to 200 watts. And this is a really different kind of light. Instead of having discrete LEDs that create hot spots, there's a blanket of light in a variety of different colors. So really looking forward to test out this light when it comes out, and we'll be keeping an eye on Inledco in the future. So that's going to wrap it up for day 2 of Global Pet Expo in Orlando, Florida. I am already back home and preparing for the next trip. And I just want to mention that the video was really just a drive-by of some of the newest products and some of the most noteworthy new releases that I could condense into 2 20-minute-ish videos. But definitely keep it locked on reefbuilders.com on the website. We're going to be diving into some of these new products a little bit more in depth, and covering a little bit more of their specifications, their prices, release dates, as well as a handful of other new products and devices that didn't quite make the final video cut. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. I want to thank everybody in Orlando who participated in the video, and if you liked this video, please don't forget to like it, to share it with a friend, and most importantly, go ahead and subscribe, because we still have a lot of great projects on the horizon. I'm actually packing up to go to Australia this afternoon, so I'm sure to be digging up some really cool stories from the other side of the world. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.